Alright, we should be live. Let me check. Yes, we are. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. Sorry for the delay for the live stream. Unfortunately, well, I wasn't quite ready in time to make 2 o'clock, so it's a 3 o'clock live stream, I guess. But anyways, here we are, and today we're going to be playing some Blazing Angels 2. Now, this game used to be on Steam. They took it down because it doesn't really work on Steam anymore, at least out of the box. But I do have it, and I did get it to run. So we are going to be having a go at this game. And it's a shame that this game ultimately got taken down off of Steam because I do actually kind of like it. But enough talking, let's get right into it, shall we? Oh, let me check something here. Make sure, yep, that's what I thought. All right, there we go, that should fix that. All right. Now we're ready. Alright, we'll start off with the very first mission, a pretty easy one. Doesn't even give us a selection of aircraft, but that's okay. By the way, forewarning, you're about to see some very cursed paint jobs on some of the aircraft. Actually, all the aircraft. James Knight says, another flight sim? Cool. Well, not a proper flight sim, but yes. Another Ace Combat style of arcade air combat game.
Joining us here at the aerodrome today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a big round of applause for the 41st Barnstorming Squadron as they perform feats of magnificent aerial daring for you. We also have a special treat. Taking off right now from the 2nd Airstrip is a World War II veteran and pilot, Captain Christopher Robinson.
Flight Bravo Alpha Zero, you are cleared for takeoff. Bonne journée. Bravo Alpha Zero, this is the tower. If you would kindly attempt some basic maneuvers to test the plane.
Alright, simple enough. Now we have some stunts to perform here to actually progress the tutorial part of this, which I will try to get done relatively quickly.
Seems to check out. Have a good flight, Captain Robinson.
Alright.
Now, let's see what this crate and this old man can still do.
You know, I'm pretty sure the voice actor they got for the Captain Robinson here is the same voice actor that was Nathan Zachary in the Crimson Sky games. So that's a nice little touch, if I may say so. Christopher Robin, yes, that is his name. Alright. See if I can actually fly under here. Yes, I can. Not Christopher Robin, Christopher Robinson. Yeah, my bad. Alright. Now, once we get enough of these here, we should be able to then go back to a flashback of World War II, and that's when the game really kind of starts. One of the quirks, by the way, with both of the Blazing Angel games that you kind of learn to deal with is the way the controls are handled, which is a little unique. Well, let me show you what I mean. So, in most games, if you turn right, you just turn right. This game, you'll notice a slight delay where it actually rolls the aircraft first before turning. That is a little quirk. It doesn't necessarily make the controls bad, but it does take some getting used to compared to other arcade air combat games. So something to keep in mind if you want to play this. Or the first game. They both have the same IDS, and it is more than noticeable when you have to do stunts like this. But like I said, it's not actually necessarily bad, so just a little unorthodox. Now, I've already beaten this game, and I've already pretty much not just beaten the game, but at the same time have unlocked everything as well. So we should have some pretty... Let's see, where... Okay, it looks like that one. No, it's going to be that one, I guess. Oh, nope, it's probably below us. Yes, it is. Okay. Now, this could get us killed, but let's try. There we go. Objective complete.
Back in the early days of the war, I was a flight instructor at Naval Air Station Pensacola. One of the best. That's why they picked me, you see. I could fly pretty much anything. It was a top-secret squadron called Operation Wildcard. The U.S. wasn't involved in the war yet, but some folks knew what was coming and wanted an ace up their sleeve. Our mission was to fly anywhere, do the impossible, get out again, and never breathe a word of what we were doing. My cover was that I was a tractor repairman. Really, though, I was training up pilots so young they were still wet behind the ears. Me and this British squad leader named Eddie Thatcher. You see, it was during the phony war. And Thatcher and I were running a basic drill for trainee pilots. When we ran into a squad of German pilots out doing recon. All hell broke loose.
What's going on? Where'd they come from? Hold formation, lads. Return fire. Steady, lads. Don't lose your heads. Don't let him get on your tail. Robinson, give the lads a hand, would you?
You've got it, Thatcher.
Where are they all coming from? Jerry's on my tail. I can't shake him. They're diving right out of the sun. I can't see them. Look out! Look out! Where is he? I can't see him. I'm ahead, back.
Well, it's a good thing we're just facing some 110s early on. Fairly, which are at a pretty substantial disadvantage, historically speaking, to the Spitfire. Ah, well.
Take that, you bastard! They're not gonna shot! Target schoolboys, will you? I'll show you.
I will say this, this was one of those games that really, well, the first one in particular, the first Blazing Angels, really tried to push what consoles could do. These games did look absolutely gorgeous for the time. James Knighton says, so is this set placed during the Pacific campaign? A little bit, but for the most part, it is the Western part of the campaign. Jacob Kennedy says, no, it's not. Yeah, there's a few missions later on at the midpoint of the game where we do actually go to the Pacific.
Is that it? That's just the beginning, boys. Nelson, Tinworth, you're with the American. The rest of you are with me. We're gonna see if Jerry brought friends. You know how to handle a squadron, don't you, Captain Robinson?
Refresh my memory.
You can order your wingmen to break off and attack the Jerrys, or stick close and defend you against enemy attack. Following orders, sir.
We'll have them attack.
There! I see something! They're coming in from the west side of the lake. Move to engage.
Jacob Kennedy says, aged pretty well though, but Valkyrie Chronicles hasn't aged a day. Yep.
That's it, lads. Keep it up.
I think part of the advantage for Valkyrie Chronicles is the art style.
Don't let any of them get away. That's the last of them. Good work, lads. You too, Captain.
Earfar says, Mass Effect came out around this time, Ace. Yes.
You think so? Now let's bring it home.
Yeah, it's really the first Blazing Angels that came out back in 2006. It was also known for being something of a tech demo as far as how visually good it was. Because it was a case where, you have to remember, Blazing Angels 2 came out roughly around the same time as...
She'll let you down easy if you treat her right.
Came out roughly around the same time as, just land. And there. It came out around the same time as Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Watercolor is beautiful to look at. I think it is. You're right, Jacob. Alright, so we did pretty good on that. Now, the prestige points are how you unlock stuff as far as the upgrades are concerned. Unfortunately, since I've already unlocked everything, there's no real point aside from getting a high score now with these things. So I could play as a Gladiator, Hurricane 1 or 2, or a Buffalo. I'll go with the Hurricane 2. Why not? And yeah, it has comic book style cutscenes too.
Train and be back with your old squadron in time for drinks at the pub.
What? And let you have all the fun? Covert missions, exotic locales, maybe even a femme fatale or two. Operation Wildcard is just my cup of tea.
Is that an example of dry British wit? I'm serious, Teach. We'll be flying the most dangerous missions possible against the worst kind of odds. And even if we survive, we won't ever be able to tell anyone what we've done.
I'm not in this for the glory, old chap. I know the risks. So, when do I get to meet the rest of the squadron?
You're looking at him. When I was given authorization to form the squadron, you were the first name on my list.
There'll be just the two of us flying the mission?
3 if you count my passenger. We're dropping an Allied agent deep within occupied France, so the fewer planes the better. I don't want us to attract any more attention than absolutely necessary. Speaking of that Allied agent, you better turn up sooner. He's gonna have to walk to France. We're supposed to be wheels up in 10 minutes.
I've no intention of walking to France in these heels, Captain. Jumping onto the back of a moving train will be exercise enough. Good afternoon, Lieutenant Thatcher.
Good afternoon, miss. Pleasure to see you again.
You knew all along, you sly fox.
You're not the only one with a surprise or two. Besides, it was more fun to let you find out this way. Shall we?
Let's fly.
Alright. I think we're all set. I decided I'm going to let the cutscenes play as normal. See some of the comments. Earfar says, Lost Planet also came out around this time. I missed that game series. Jacob Kennedy says, the Cairo mission is my favorite. Took what Max Payne did for story and rolled with it. Yeah, I can see that.
Are you ready for this one, Thatcher?
Absolutely, Captain.
Fair enough. You know this area better than I do, so lead the way.
Roger that. How's your passenger doing?
His passenger is doing quite well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear that, Miss
You can call me Marguerite. Thank you again for agreeing to this mission, Captain.
Robinson. So, is this a sightseeing excursion?
Not hardly, though the countryside is lovely.
I hadn't noticed.
Probably for the best, as you're the one flying the plane.
As opposed to the one jumping onto the train?
Well, it seemed the best way to talk to my contact aboard, wouldn't you agree? The train's getting close, I can hear the whistle.
There it is.
There's the train. I need you to fly over it as close as possible. Slow down, and hold position over it long enough for me to jump.
That all?
This is another thing that's relatively Crimson Skiesy about this game, aside from the
My middle name.
same voice actor.
Now's our chance. Almost there. This is it. Thank you. I'll see you in London. If we're lucky.
Cody Davis says, you really love the golden oldies, don't you, Ace? Yes, I do. Thank you. Jacob Kennedy says, I hated doing the train. Yep.
Now let's hope all this was worth it.
That's up to the lady on the train.
Wish Wish her luck, Teach. We'll need it if we're ever going to see her again.
I've still got a full load of ammo and plenty of fuel, and there are German units all over the place. Feel up to causing some more mischief, Captain?
You bet! What's the plan?
We can make life easier for our boys on the ground if we destroy as many enemy units as we can. But we don't have much time. I figure we only have a few minutes before the skies are full of German fighters.
Then stop talking and start shooting.
That's the spirit. There they are.
Looks like trucks, some armor, a few AA guns. It's a yard sale down there.
Let's turn it into a BF-109Es. I think we can take them, if we're careful.
I think they know we're here.
Jolly good for them.
Air Force says this feels like the Rogue Squadron of World War II. Yeah, there's a few. There was actually some stiff competition around the time of this game, though, so there's a few that could hold that mantle, I'd say.
Direct hit on my target. Ground target destroyed. I've taken out a ground target. Don't forget, your plane has cannons as well as machine guns. They're more powerful and can finish off enemy planes with just a few shots.
Alright, let's go take out some more trucks.
That's a quarter of their strength.
Jacob Kennedy says, without the BS difficulty from Rogue Squadron 2. I'm trying to think of which missions in Rogue Squadron 2 were particularly difficult.
Enemy ground target taken care of.
I mean, there was that one early or mid game where you had to take on a Star Destroyer. That one was kind of tricky, I remember.
That's the stuff. Ground target is destroyed.
I think we've got half of them.
It's a direct hit.
Half of them, and we still have almost 8 minutes left.
Ground target is
Just
destroyed.
a couple more targets.
Those enemy planes are getting caught. There we go. They'll be in no shape to advance. Not anymore.
Well, we can keep wrecking them some more.
Destroyed. You've been hit. Look out, Captain. Someone's arrived early to the party.
We must have hit the Germans where it hurts. Those guys look like they mean business.
They must have flown like devils to get here so fast. I'll bet a penny to a pound the flight leader is one of their top aces. Should we break off and head for home?
If they want to fight, I don't mean to disappoint them. You with me, Teach?
Right behind you, Captain. You've been hit. You got him. Enemy ground target neutralized. That one's out of commission.
Got him.
Ground target eliminated. My target's in up. You might want to dodge that enemy fire. Enemy ground.
Oh, did you stay behind me when I deployed the smoke?
I think I can confirm that kill. Ground target eliminated. Target is out of action.
That's the last.
Deleted.
Enemy ground target neutralized. Enemy ground target destroyed.
There we go.
Direct hit on my target. Enemy aircraft destroyed. That one's out of commission.
Alright, now it's a simple matter of mop up. See, did I delete everything else already? It looks like it, so it's just the aircraft now. Alright, time to go Stuka hunting.
I rang the bell there. Nice shot. He's done for.
Apparently we both got criticals, which, yeah, instantly takes out the planes. Alright, we'll take out this set. Remember, actually, the last time I played this particular mission, I ended up taking out every single thing on the map before the counter even ran down. Alright, so it looks like, ooh, another squadron spawned.
That's my kill. That one's done for.
I'd say we've wrecked him up pretty good so far. Whoops. Alright, now we'll help you with that guy there. Not a whole lot of these dudes left, so...
Enemy plane out of action. That is a kill.
One more plane. Can we reach it? We got 1 minute to go, but I think we can just barely make it. Adasa says, "Wow, I haven't played Blazing Angels in so many years." Yeah, I know, it's something of a blast to the blast of the past. Cody Davis says, "Be right back." Sorry, guys. Well, let us know when you're back. This one dude might actually escape us. No, he won't. It looks like he's turning right back around, which is exactly what I need.
That's a jolly good show, Captain.
There, we got him.
Let's clear out before their reinforcements arrive. Last one back buys the first round of the canteen.
We deleted them all. Nice. So that looked like that was a new record. Alright, so we get a few choice of aircraft. We could go for the Barracuda, the Buccaneer, the Kate, the Val, or the Swordfish. I think I'll go for the Buccaneer for this one.
When the dust settled, I had a squadron to fill out, and I knew just the man to do it. It was Lieutenant Miles Milo Winchester, a pilot and mechanic I'd known back in Pensacola. Give him enough time and he could make an orange crate fly barrel rolls, and I needed that sort of expertise. When Teach and I caught up to him, he was serving on board a British carrier that was about to launch an attack on the Italian fleet at Taranto. What could we do besides join in?
One thing that's curious about the aircraft roster is there's a lot. I noticed it doesn't have a whole lot of American aircraft. You only have the Barracuda or not the Barracuda, the Buccaneer.
Pensacola. Glad you got my back.
Sure thing. Now let's get this bucket of bolts in the air.
Yeah, you only.
Alpha Zero, can you read me?
Loud and clear.
Bloody brilliant. Here's your assignment. There are 2 unmanned cruisers sitting in Taranto Harbor with your name on them. There are barrage balloons and some destroyers with jumping gun crews in your way. But I need you to send those ships to the bottom.
Roger, squadron leader. I'm on it. Teach, how are you holding up?
Already in the air and raring to go.
How you doing back there, Milo?
Ready and mostly willing, Captain.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, are you up for taking out a couple of Italian cruisers?
Heck yeah. I can also help you out with repairs if you need. I'm real handy, so if something pops loose, I can probably fix it. Heck, I've taught guys through repairs from other planes. If we want to take those cruisers out, we're going to have to put the bombs right down their throats.
In other words, we're going dive bombing.
That's what these birds are built for. Avoid the searchlights if at all possible, or you'll get the attention of every AA gun in the harbor. Bullseye. That's one down.
Alright, so, anyways, as I was saying, there's not actually a lot of American aircraft in this game. The only ones I know for a fact are in here are the Buccaneer here.
Ammo depots along the docks. If you've still got ordnance on board and feel like taking on some additional targets, we could take them out as well.
Anyways, the only ones that I really know for a fact are in the game are the Buccaneer and the Buffalo. And of those two, the Buffalo is probably the most famous, which should tell you about how obscure both of them are.
Here's the other. Good shooting, Captain. There we go. Those flares are lighting up the harbor clear as day.
Alright, we got him.
Commencing attack run now.
That's us. Let's go.
Here's the balloons. Careful of the wires. They'll cut through this plane like it's cheese.
Shouldn't you be watching out behind us instead?
I'm always watching my behind, Captain.
And how did you end up over here?
A buddy of mine in the RAF told me what they were paying qualified pilots, so I got myself transferred. It wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done.
Well, after all this is over, I've got a proposition for you.
Let's take care of business first.
We'll just go ahead, delete the ammo dump, and that should be easy enough. You do want to avoid the searchlights, but it's not an instant game over if you accidentally run into them, so...
I got a ship! So what's this proposition? And how the heck did you end up here?
It's very simple. I'm putting together an elite squadron for unconventional missions. Think of it as flying commandos. I want you on board. That's why I'm here.
That sounds like asking for trouble. And I don't like trouble.
But the pay is great, and you'll get your hands on some top-secret equipment. Plus, you'll be doing your country a favor.
Never mind that. Exactly how much pay are we talking here?
Welcome aboard, Milo.
Nathan X 2000 says for £2. Battery boys say hi. Yep.
Like the barrage balloons.
We'll just delete that battleship. Oh, not quite down. Apparently we are... For whatever reason, this aircraft does not carry a massive bomb load like it should. But I wouldn't know how much the Barracuda has as far as... Or Buccaneer has as far as bomb loads, so...
That's a kill.
There we go.
That one looks to be done for.
The cruiser over there.
Enemy ship sunk.
Well, the good news is we can still take out cruisers, so... Another battleship there, that is on low health.
Another ship. We're taking out the whole damn fleet. You've been tagged. It's going smooth as a baby's behind.
Alright, Cody Davies says, and I'm back. Made me watch Star Trek Discovery ad. Ah, okay. Yeah, I feel your pain. Nathan X 2000 says, for another £2, Piggy on Punani. Alright.
I think there's a ship left afloat. Let's head in.
Yeah, we need to discuss a few things. Like my new pay grade. Hang on, I'm getting 3 inbound paints. Where the deuce did they come from?
Bravo, Alpha Zero, this is the Illustrious. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt to land. There are too many enemy fighters for you to effect a safe landing.
So what do we do now?
The fighters won't let us land. We deal with the fighters.
With what? They disabled the forward machine gun on this thing to make sure nobody thought they were flying a fighter. All you can do is spit at them.
You got a gun, correct?
You're out of your mind. For me to line up the shot, you'll need to get in front of and below your target.
You worry about pulling the trigger. I'll put you in position to make the kills.
It's our funeral. One down.
So yeah, this part you have to use the tail gunner to take out enemy planes. Apparently he has not had a shot on either of them as of yet, but he took out one of them, so that's good. The tail gunners in this game are actually pretty tough, or pretty capable when they actually do start firing. Unfortunately, the keyword is when they start firing. Pull up, pull up, pull up. There we go. I'll just take one of these while I wait for him to, for these guys to line up another shot. Apparently they're not even really bothering us, so they're just busy flying around doing whatever. So, okay, well. Come on, finish him off. No? Okay.
I'm seeing damage to your plane. Ein ernsthafter Schaden.
Apparently I picked the worst aircraft to actually do this with.
Du kannst nicht entkommen. That's two. He's one left. Come on, lads. Finish them off.
There we go.
Bravo, Alpha Zero.
And they are deleted.
You have landed sequence. Thank you for your efforts, gentlemen. We couldn't have done it without you.
My target's inoperable.
Alright, now we can go ahead and land and finish the mission. Cody Davies says, for $2, do you ever play Hearts of Iron 4? A little bit. I mainly play, of the Paradox Grand Strategies, mainly it's Europa Universalis 4. But I have played some Hearts of Iron 4. Although, admittedly, I've had more experience with Hearts of Iron 3. Alright. Here we go. Shadow of the Pyramids, where we meet the fourth wing, or we meet the latest wingman. So that'll be nice. And we also can pick most of the aircraft now. Just so long as they are fighter planes. I'm going to go with the Shinden. Well, actually, no. I'm going to be using the Shinden later on anyways. So a different aircraft that happens to use the Tesla would be nice. And I'm going to be using the Gotha as well again later on anyways. So, you know what? Screw it. We're going the Gotha.
Things were going well, but we still had one missing piece to find. Our man was named Thorpe, and he'd been sent overseas with a bucket load of commendations and a warning about his attitude. We recruited him into the squadron, and it was a good thing, too. Word came down that our superiors wanted to see us in action so they could get a sense of our value to the war effort. We needed every man we could get.
Alright, so we get to see Lieutenant Thorpe in action. He's the gung-ho guy whose special ability is...
General Cogman, this is Bravo Alpha Zero. We're almost in formation and awaiting orders.
Almost, Captain Robinson?
We're still waiting on Lieutenant Thorpe.
I'm afraid, Captain Robinson, that if you're trying to demonstrate the importance of your squadron, you're getting off to a poor start.
See if we can actually make this.
Produce elite results. I expect you to take down at least 1/3 of the incoming enemy aircraft at a minimum. Do you understand?
Oh! Okay, that was 100% my fault.
There he is. Bravo Alpha Zero, this is Lieutenant Thorpe reporting for duty. About bloody time. Hey, back off, buddy. I show up when it counts.
We'll be fine when the chips are down, General. Thorpe, belay that talk. We've got a job to do.
Alright.
Show a little more respect. We work as a unit, Lieutenant. Gee, thanks for the advice. I'll remember that one. No, wait a minute. I won't.
Settle down, all of you. Thorpe, you're out of line. Stop insulting the men who are going to be watching your back. Teach, Milo, give the kid a chance to prove himself.
And here comes that chance now. Think you can keep up? Take them out, lads.
They're starting the runs. Now give this heck. You don't have to keep holding me back, Captain. If you really need to take a bunch of them down, just give me the order, and I can clear out a whole lot of bad guys. Too sweet.
You're pretty sure of yourself, Thorpe.
No, I'm just that good.
Keep your heads, everyone. This one's just starting.
Keep up the pressure on them. We're off to a good start. Keep hammering them.
So yeah, this thing has lock-on missiles.
For a rude surprise. Make your approach from above or below to avoid being shot at by the bomber's machine guns. And keep in mind that they're much slower than we are. Approach your target from behind and brake to keep your target in your sights as long as possible. Thanks for the lesson, Professor, but I think I can handle these guys. Get a load of these maneuvers, Grandpa. Watch and learn, youngster.
Focus on the enemy, gentlemen.
We're halfway there, boss. Plenty of paint. They're starting the runs. Not if I have anything to say about it.
This wave has fighter cover.
Oh, good. A challenge. This is the game, Lieutenant. Sure it is. Whoever lives wins. Oops, they're losing.
We're getting through. Keep taking out fighters.
That's almost finished them. Just a few more. We're taking out the bombers. That goes
There we go.
This is nuts. Even if they hit ground, those guys are just gonna get cut off and wiped out. What are the Germans trying to prove? Beats me, but if we can pick them out of the air, so much the better.
We better. This is the main Allied base in North Africa. If too many of those troops reach the ground, they could cause tremendous damage. We must avoid this at all costs.
You heard him. We've got our work cut out for us. Aim for the parachutes. They'll be easier to hit than the units themselves.
He's in free fall.
Knock them off, one by one.
His elevator is going down.
All out attack.
Just keep hanging there. Looks like they're dropping all sorts of units. Guns, paratroops, some armor. Transport plane going down. Get on the mission. Come on, lads, rally. Enemy aircraft destroyed.
We're really messing them up pretty good on this one.
Give me another kill. There goes the transport. I can confirm a kill. Down he goes. Hit them before they touch down.
I mean, this
Ground forces get any kind of traction.
despite all the panic you can hear in these guys' voices, you can see how far away from the ground these parachutes are right now. So there are a lot of them though, but at this point, also look at the points. I think this is going to be another record for me anyways on this particular level.
That's finished.
But yeah, long story short, the Tesla coil for a defensive weapon in this game is ridiculously overpowered, which is why only a few planes actually have access to it. Brazier de Lance says, dropping armor at such high altitude? Da fuck. Yeah, exactly. This game isn't really meant to make a whole lot of logical sense. I mean, this is supposed to be right by the pyramids of Egypt, too. And I think roughly 1940, 1941.
That's the last of them. I think we're in the clear down here.
Are we done, General?
Not quite. I'm getting reports of enemy troops on the ground near the Great Pyramid. I'll be buggered if I know what they're doing over there. But I was buggered to know what they were doing over here.
It's a diversion. We'll go see what they're really up to and put a stop to it.
Dumbest damn diversion I ever saw. How many men and planes did they lose?
More than they wanted to, I'm sure.
Well, let's see what was so important that they... Holy cow. Am I seeing things or is that a Zeppelin?
You're not seeing things.
Whatever that airship is transporting out of here can't be allowed to leave. Shoot it down.
Yet another thing this game has in common with Crimson Skies.
It must be filled with helium. It's non-explosive. Well, that's just great. I'll be trying before we put a dent in that thing.
Just keep hitting it. There's got to be another way.
Bloody hell! Since when did Zeppelins have mounted turrets? Who cares? This one's got them, and they've opened fire.
Hit them hard. Take them out, and they'll have to fall back on their other defenses.
Everything you've got. What other defenses? There's bay doors on that thing. If it can't shoot for itself, it's gonna turn loose something that can. Scar a hit on that turret. Scar a hit on that turret.
That ought to make the skies a little friendlier for us.
Ground target taken out.
I'm seeing enemy fighters. Where did they come from?
Ground observers say they're coming from bays within the airship. If you can target those bay doors while they're open, you can do considerable damage.
The Crimson Skies comparisons are just not going to stop with this game, apparently.
Ground target is out of action. A1 out of action. Woo! What are they storing in there, nitro?
Whatever it is, it blows up nicely. Come around again and pour it on.
Good luck launching any more fighters out of there.
Good show. Take other one and you'll cripple them. Another pass out to do it.
Second bay is out of action, General.
A few more hits ought to take her out once and for all.
Ooh, I even hit these two with the Tesla, so that's nice. Oh, lag. There we go. That should be enough.
She's done for. Don't worry, I'm on it. You're getting peppered pretty good. She's on fire.
I feel sorry for the poor bastards on board.
Everyone, pull back. You don't want that thing landing on you.
Not bad, Captain Robinson. You might have demonstrated your squadron's value after all.
Do our best, General. Requesting permission to land.
Permission granted.
There we go. Alright, so some more of the comments. S1DF-D2F3 says, nice job with BF 1918 3.3. Thank you very much. Brazier DeLance says, dropping, sorry for my mistake, that's okay. And DY031101 says, they don't even use the World War II version of Balkan Cruise for the Germans? Oh, that was definitely a new record as far as that level. But now we're going to Paris. In a German aircraft of our choice. Oh, another plane that has the Tesla. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the 109K. We'll go ahead and try it out and also try out the flat cannon.
All right, let's start with the basics. Which unit are you assigned to?
A secret one. Very secret, very special unit.
Oh? How has that been working for you?
Let's not play any more games, Captain. You have me here because you want to find out secrets, right? You want me to tell you something that you don't know. So here's something that you don't know. You are doomed. Your proud armies, your big countries, your shining machines of war, they mean nothing. They will be wiped out and you with them. Destruction and death will rain from the skies and only ashes will remain.
Better not forget my umbrella, then.
Laugh while you can, Captain. You won't be laughing when the Special Projects Division unleashes its creations on your puny army.
This is a load of bull.
Don't try and act like you don't know about us. You know you have a spy in our quarters in Paris? You can consider her as good as captured.
What?
Yes, it's the Gestapo. They've been watching me for days.
Max, what's all this about?
Don't play the innocent, Emily. I trusted you. And this is how you repay me. By stealing my work and giving it to the enemy?
Your work? You mean those engines of murder you're helping to build? Don't talk to me about betrayals, Max. I thought you were a decent and honorable man. How do you sleep at night knowing you served that monster in Berlin?
I didn't come here to argue with you, Emily. The Gestapo is going to arrest you at any time. You must leave Paris at once.
I'm afraid I can't do that just yet. Have a seat. Wicket, this is Canterbury. Wicket, this is Canterbury. Do you read? The tide is going out. I say again, the tide is going out. Confirmed. Wicket out.
What now? You intend to kill me?
Not unless I have to. You're not like von Kluger, Max. Come with me.
You think I would sell my loyalty so cheaply? No. Do what you must. If you mean to continue with your mission, you will have to kill me first. Do it. I have no regrets.
Damn you, Max. I'm afraid you're going to be the death of me.
Emily! Open this door!
DY says this is for emphasis. Cody Davies says, so special. Yep, the cutscenes in this game are quite something, huh? I was actually considering doing one of my little joke videos.
Captain Robinson.
Marguerite, fancy meeting you here. Can I offer you a lift out of town?
Not just yet, I'm afraid. I need to visit the German garrison and collect some documents before I can go.
How long will that take?
Not long at all. I'll pocket it and then drive out of town. You find a field you can land in safely, and I'll meet you there.
You'll have to move fast. As soon as the Germans figure out what you've stolen, they'll be after you.
That's where you come in. You're flying a German plane, which means you can do something about those enemy aircraft and observation posts.
So, I have to take out the entire German surveillance network without being seen, and down each target quickly enough that nobody raises the alarm?
Yes. Did I mention that since you're flying a German aircraft, you're technically a spy and will be shot if captured?
No. The way my day is going so far, I believe it. Good luck, Marguerite.
And to you, Captain. I'm in my car en route to the garrison. I'll let you know when I'm ready to leave town.
Alright, so we have to avoid the areas that we know for a fact that they'll spot us, the little circles on the map there. And we have to make sure that the plane we're shooting at is also outside of these little circles. And if we screw up, these circles will actually grow in size and they will begin shooting at us, so we should try to avoid that.
I've reached the garrison, and I'm heading inside.
Are you?
Hush for a moment.
Guten Abend, Fräulein Rustin. It's good to see you again, but I'm afraid that Herr Wurmeller is not here at the moment.
I know. Actually, that's why I'm here.
Oh, God.
He's feeling ill, the poor dear, and he wanted me to fetch some personal items from his office. You don't mind, do you?
Not at all, Fräulein. Herr Wurmeller is a fortunate man to have someone like you to take care of him. Please proceed.
Alright, there we go. Now we can just miss the shot and have to wait. Except no, because the alert has been raised anyways. Because of reasons. Alright, we'll just dip back out of the firing area here. Cody Davies says you just have to put some edited text in the Bible and you have gold. I'm not even sure you have to do that. The line where he says, "You are doomed." You don't even have to do that. Brazier DeLance says, wait. A lieutenant general with sergeant chevrons on his sleeve. Yeah, the cutscenes are indeed something, mate. Yes, and they're going to stay something, too. Cody Davies says, let's just hope no one looks at the planes exploding over a major city. Yes. Especially since I just shot that dude right out in front of the other dude here. My, there's apparently a whole bunch of accidents happening with aircraft today over Paris.
Captain Robinson, are you there?
More or less, Miss Rustin. What's your status?
I'm moving as fast as I can. The alarm could be raised at any moment.
But yeah, someone mentioned that this game reminds them a lot of Secret Weapons Over Normandy. Yes. That is the first game that comes to mind aside from Crimson Skies. Both have their ups and downs, I would say, though. I kind of slightly prefer Crimson Skies over this, but both of them are pretty strong air combat games. Also, the radio chatter of these guys getting shot down is getting completely ignored too, which is amusing when you think about it. Especially since we are right by Paris, or right over Paris.
Marguerite, it's time to go.
Not a moment too soon. Fly toward my location. I want your eyes on me as we head out of town.
That's a bit forward, isn't it? I'm on my way.
Robinson, change your plans. They've realized something's missing and the entire garrison is in an uproar.
Don't wait for me, just get out.
Achtung, Achtung, all units. Be on the lookout for Fräulein Emily Rustin. She is
an enemy agent and may be in possession of secret documents. Stop her at all costs.
Oh no, not the secret documents.
Just gone pear-shaped, Captain. Any cover you could provide would be appreciated, Captain.
I see you. And you've got company.
What sort?
Roadblocks ahead, pursuers behind. I'll take care of them. You drive. That roadblock won't be slowing you down.
Thank you.
All right, so this can be a little bit tricky to actually take out the stuff that's on the ground here, but
Head I'm worried about.
Right. I'll target the roadblocks.
Just be careful.
there we are. More Kuba wagons. All right, simple matter. Just get a good shot on this area, and ooh, there.
Nice shooting.
All right, here comes the Luftwaffe.
Looks like the car is scratched up.
We got him now.
Another pursuer is up taking some flak up here.
My, you made a mess of that one. Clear sailing here.
All right, let's go ahead and delete those planes wherever they are. Where are they? There we are. I have taken out a fair amount of my health, but that's okay. One of the abilities actually regenerates the health a bit, if you can not be damaged for a little bit. There we go. Now they should start regenerating. We should be good. All right.
I'm on the move. My car's taken a little damage here. Thank you. My, you made a mess of that one.
Oh, more planes. Okay, we'll just shoot those down too, as soon as I finish off the guard towers. Eh.
Nice shooting.
He won't be bothering you.
All right, now that that's taken care of, it's a simple matter of mopping up. Cody Davies says, I miss campy video games from when I was a kid. Who knew unguided rockets could level city blocks? Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've fully upgraded these rockets, but still, it is kind of ridiculous, the sort of splash that they've got on them. I'm pretty sure. Both of those guard towers destroyed from that rocket.
Well, the paint job on this is ruined now.
Alrighty.
This isn't working. The route is too heavily guarded.
And there's too much enemy AA cover. We're gonna have to try something a little more direct.
Like what? You're going to land in a city?
Why not? Champs-Élysées looks like a runway to me.
That's just mad enough to work. But we have a complication.
You're being followed.
Yes. Gestapo, I think. I'm abandoning the car and hiding in a house along the Champs-Élysées. Land as close to me as you can, and I'll make the run to you.
Hang on! I need to make another pass. There it is. Let's line this up right because I'm not sure how many shots I'll get at this.
Watch out!
Alright, we'll just land.
Here I come.
They are going to be sending tanks our way, so we do need to be careful about that. I'd say that's close enough.
You did it! You mad, magnificent man, you!
Get over here and say that. Panzers! Let's make this a quick stop then. Auf Wiedersehen, fellas. Enjoy Paris. No, I did.
That was magnificent!
Yeah, we're not out of the woods yet, Marguerite. So, how do we get out of here? We've got all the approaches well covered with radar and AA emplacements.
Go south. According to Max, it's the only hole in their anti-aircraft cordon.
And we trust Max because...
Do we have a choice? Head south.
That's a lot of flak. I'm gonna try not to get close to it.
Good thinking.
Emily, I know you're out there. Answer me.
There's nothing left to say, Max. You've made your choice long ago, and so did I.
You have no idea what you're trifling with. The Special Projects Division has harnessed forces you can't possibly imagine. The Allied forces are doomed.
Your precious Luftwaffe couldn't stop a lone pilot landing on the Champs-Élysées. Don't count your chickens, Max. This war isn't over yet.
What in the hell was that all about? Sounds like you two go way back.
We were childhood friends. Now he's the head of a top-secret research division, designing doomsday weapons for the Germans.
Is that so? Guess that pilot we captured in Cairo wasn't lying after all. If my best childhood friend was helping design doomsday weapons for the Germans, I wouldn't want anyone to know either. Don't worry, Marguerite. Your secrets are safe with me. Now, let me take you home.
Sorry, Captain. No rest for the weary, I'm afraid. We've got to get to Russia as soon as we can. Contact the HQ and have them pass the word for the rest of your squadron to meet us there. We're going to need all the help we can get.
Alright, so some of the comments here. We'll go ahead and read them now. Brazier DeLance says, pity for the blokes living in said blocks. Cody Davies says, they don't really seem to care a lot about collateral damage. Well, we're in a German plane, so we can blame the Germans. Cody Davies says, in Hoi 4, I spent an hour carpet bombing France before I liberated it. Sounds about right. Earfar says, blame the guys that want realism and everything. I'm assuming this is the comment in response to missing campy video games. So he says, blame the guys that want realism and everything, including fantasy games. I don't think you have to take away the campy, though, to make a game like that, though. And that's not really the problem, in my opinion. The problem, if you really want my take on it, is that the problem in a nutshell is that you, for a long time, publishers have been trying to push the accessibility angle, and that means trying to make games more samey as well in their own view of things. So they're busy copying each other, and have been doing so for years now. To the point, it's to the point where completely different franchises have to pretty much play so similar that you can mistake one for another relatively easily. So that's really the problem. It's not even a matter of realism either. Because of course you've got games like the Call of Duty franchise that have been popular pretty much since way back, and they still have the exact same sort of problems, and they're still pretty campy, but they still have the problem of trying to be like everyone else as well. Cody Davies says immersion types get annoying sometimes. Yeah, they can be, but on the other hand, it's not. Again, you can make a campy game and it still feels somewhat immersive, believe it or not, or at least gets you sucked into it. Red Alert 2, as campy as that game is, right? I still got sucked into it because they play it just straight-faced enough that it makes it an absolute blast. It's better in that regard, in my opinion, than Red Alert 3 was. Anyways, Brazier de Lance says, to Earfarce, what are we to blame for, mate? Alright, so Cody Davies says there's a line in GTA 5 on one of the radio stations that goes, America's foreign policy should be limited to carpet bombing anyone who doesn't have oil. Brazier Delant says, Ace, your German plane had early U.S. markings. I think they'll notice. Yes, and the U.S. is not even in the war yet at this point in the game. So it's not until Flying Tigers that you know for a fact that the Americans have entered the war. And that's several missions later. So, yeah. Brazier Delant says, even fantasy obeys some kind of laws. I mean, say, a burst of rifle-sized MG blowing tanks? Nah. Good point. Yes, even a good fantasy does have a certain set logic to it. It's the reason why Battlefield 5 was just a terrible, terrible trailer for the game, and the game was pretty terrible, is because it didn't obey it didn't actually play to the sort of rules of a World War II setting, to the point that people didn't know that Battlefield 5 was actually set in World War II. A lot of people didn't. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the next mission, which is Grand Theft.
No sooner had I recovered Marguerite from Paris than she was sending me and my squadron to Russia. It seems that Allied Command had a reserve stash of interesting enemy aircraft that they were always looking to add to. Marguerite requested that we go and steal one for them.
Earfar says if that's how the game's universe works, then yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and...
Paris, we get Russia. I have to ask you, is that fair?
Weather was a little better in Paris, I have to admit.
So was the company, I hear. How was the lovely Marguerite?
Ask her yourself. She's downstairs coordinating this mission with the Russians.
American Squadron, do you read me?
Loud and clear. We're in position and ready to go when you are, Podpolkovnik. Just say the word.
Good. We will commence our attack on the airfield immediately and are counting on you to reduce the enemy defenses.
This is a cooperative effort between ourselves and the Russians, Captain. Don't make us look bad.
You'll come out smelling like a Russian rose, Marguerite. Ready, men?
All the way, Captain. Here we go. I have to tell you, Captain, business doesn't sound good. You want us to land down there and steal a bomber right under the Germans' noses?
And fly it back to Sweden, yes.
Begging your pardon, Cap, but that's just crazy talk. There's gotta be an easier way to do this. Hit him hard! If you don't have the stones, Milo. I'm just saying, there's a better way.
This is the way we've got. Winchester, if you're not up for it, that's fine. Thor, Thatcher, what do you say?
Count me in. Orders are orders. Zoom!
For me, if I also had to pick really campy World War II games, one that really sticks out in my mind as far as the sheer campiness of it is a game called The Outfit. It's basically a mixture between Mercenaries, Battlefield, and... well, basically just Mercenaries and Battlefield is what it's a combination of. But obviously a very heavy World War II setting. Really campy, but genuinely worth a look if you're wanting something that's World War II, but a little different.
My men have taken the airfield, but I do not know if we can hold it. You must hurry.
And there's the bomber. Teach, follow me in.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Alright, so it's a simple matter of landing and then taking off in a different plane. I love how you can also see the dudes just walking around, which was a rare treat for games from this era. At least when it came to arcade air combat games. Proper flight sims did have it, and had it for way longer, but it was still always nice to see something like that.
Yes, we will.
Woohoo! Captain!
I see it, but I don't believe it.
Piece of cake, gentlemen.
Captain, I'll take the stick. You'd better get to the turrets.
Captain Robinson, can you hear me?
Marguerite, what's your status?
I'm about to be leading an attack across the river.
What do you need us to do?
We'll be using the ice. The German armor can't, not without crashing through and sinking. Take out the bridges to cut them off.
We'll see what we can do.
We got problems up here too, Captain.
Do what you can to keep them off us. Teach?
Headed for the bridges, Captain. Wish us luck.
Just remember, Captain, the bridges are your only real target, and you only get one shot at them. Everything else is secondary.
Understood, Marguerite.
But I'll bet if we blow that other stuff up, she won't complain too much. That's another one down.
Alright, now then. Airfar says Ace lands on a burning airfield. This is fine.
That looks like a kill, Captain. There's a definite kill.
Cody Davies says Mercenaries was a great series of games. I'd like to see a new one. Agreed. Where is he? Oh, he's in front of us.
Got one.
That's one more out of action.
Deleted?
No need for friendly fire,
That kill's
sir.
confirmed, Captain.
Sorry about that. There. Alright, so we got him down.
Who's next?
Ooh, there was two of them there. Cool.
You asked for it, Captain.
I think I got him.
Those balloons are blocking our run. Take them out.
Alright, some more of the comments.
I got that guy.
Come on, let us actually shoot the thing down.
He's done. Take out those balloons, or I'll have to abort the run.
Enemy aircraft destroyed. Gotcha, you bastard.
There we go.
Ready to start bombing?
It's not looking good for the Ruskies down there.
If we don't take out those bridges in a hurry, they're done for. Take out the defenses around the bridge, and this will get a lot easier.
I'm doing my best, Teach. Hold her steady.
He's done for. The south bridge is down. Good shooting. Now, can you take care of the one to the north? You got them.
Excellent work, Captain. How's it going back there?
How's that fancy new bomb sight work? Is it half as good as they say it is?
It's a real piece of work, all right. Makes the job a lot easier.
We've got more aircraft inbound.
The snow is picking up too. Down on the ground.
All right. All right. So, Cody, I got a lot of comments here to try reading. Sorry.
I've been waiting on your orders, sir. There's a splash. Score another one for me.
He's deleted.
I thought the winters back home were cold. This beats them all.
Those bodies will be frozen to the ground by next morning and half covered in snow. They'll still be there come spring.
All right. Anyway, so I've been missing the comments here a little bit. Let's see. Have to actually scroll up a little bit here.
There's a splash.
Cody Davies says in the third game the CIA gives you a nuke. I think it's the Mercenaries 2 that does that.
Enemy aircraft is down.
But yeah, and then it's unlocked and you can just drop nukes wherever you want. Yep. Yeah, I do remember that. It's their nuclear bunker busters that you have to unlock.
Switch to the bomb bay control.
And you can choose between the U.S. and China from where to get them, if I remember correctly. And then Dr. Brazier DeLance says, Dr. Strangelove, here we come. Nice.
Enemy aircraft destroyed. Direct hit. He's done for. Good shooting.
The second bridge is down. Enemy armor is stopped in its tracks.
All right.
See why the High Command wanted to steal this gun sight. Too bad we had to take the whole plane with us.
Cody Davies says, I feel like they should just sell off the IPs instead of sitting on them and doing nothing with them. I agree. If you ask me, I think maybe we should consider changing copyright law to make sure that sort of situation doesn't happen.
What's gonna happen to it?
There's a reserve pool of captured and special tech back at Hereford. This will go into it.
Any
Yeah.
chance we can get our hands on it?
I think you can count on it. We're part of the reason it exists.
That's the best news I've had all day. And just so you know, Captain, if there's something you want that they don't have in the stash, I could probably talk to someone about acquiring. You know, just in case. Might not be cheap, though.
We'll see what I can talk High Command into spending if it comes down to that.
Let me know. I know people. Yes, sir. We're almost clear. That's the kill.
Just a few more. Keep up the fire from the turret.
Enemy aircraft is out of commission. Enemy aircraft destroyed.
All right, so
My guy's taken care of.
anyway, so some more of the comments. Earfar says, well, they sold the Almalur IP to Nordic, so maybe there's hope. Are those supposed to be air equivalent of sea mines? Kind of. Basically, I'll just wait for the game to finish the mission.
Roger that, and amen. American Squadron out.
All right, so as I was saying, So, Earfire says, are those supposed to be the air equivalent of sea mines? Kind of. The way they worked is they held up these wires, and if the plane went by the wire, it would cut the wing right off. But yes, those barrage balloons are something that they would do. Cody Davies says bomb balloons, somehow they were supposed to protect from bombings, but I don't know how. Well, yeah, like I said, the balloons have wires, and they're supposed to cut the wings off of planes that try going through them. If I remember correctly, the British in World War II even had a way of deploying them relatively quickly during the Battle of Britain, even. So there is that. Cody Davies says, it's cool, Ace. Focus on the game. Earfar says, don't worry about it. Just Indiana Jones yourself, Ace. And nuclear bunker busters. Yep. Cody Davies says, you're trying to take out the dude running Venezuela or something, and regular bunker busters aren't good enough. Exactly. So they give you and a drunken Russian pilot nukes. Yep. Exactly. That is exactly what happens in the game. And it is glorious. You should also see the Panzer Cycle that you can unlock in it, which is a motorcycle with treads instead of tires, which is also hilarious.
We dropped the bomber at a secret base in Sweden, where some scientists from England were waiting to install a new defensive weapon for us to try out. Milo couldn't wait.
Yes, this mission. I like this mission.
Tell me again what we're doing up here.
Testing a defensive weapon the eggheads back in England designed for our planes.
You guys honestly believe a bunch of high-powered lights are gonna make any difference in a dogfight?
After that Zeppelin, I'm willing to believe anything. Besides, the theory seems sound.
Fair enough. The theory seems sound at least. Shine enough bright lights in someone's face, they're not gonna be able to see well enough to shoot you.
Ready to test that out?
Sure, Captain. I just love the idea of going blind at 5,000 feet.
It's all in a good cause.
Uh-huh. You don't see Marguerite up here testing it, do you?
She's being picked up by a Royal Navy submarine after a mission in occupied Norway. Honestly, I think we're getting the better end of the deal here.
Yeah, go tell it to the judge. Let's get this over with. Can you fly straight and level long enough for me to form up behind you?
Yep.
Lining up for test one now.
Let her rip.
Alright, he should be behind us now, so...
Oh, my eyes. I have to pull off.
So, it works?
See for yourself.
Cody Davies says, didn't the Panzer Cycle also have a minigun on the front? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a little while since I played it, and maybe there's different versions or whatever, depending on the system you were playing on. Alright, we'll go ahead and fly straight and level. Hopefully he'll be able to test it out on us now.
Activating in. Ow!
Son of a...
So, you'd say it works?
Like a charm. Imagine that. A weapon that keeps the other guy from shooting you instead of just blowing him out of the sky.
There's something to be said for taking an enemy out permanently.
Yeah, but there's also something to be said for having your keister covered like this. Not that I'm eager to test it again, mind you.
Bravo Alpha Zero, can you hear me? Repeat. Bravo Alpha Zero, can you read?
This is Bravo Alpha Zero. Marguerite? What's going on?
Our sub was attacked by a Luftwaffe patrol plane. The boat is badly damaged, and we need immediate assistance.
What's your position?
Don't know. Navigation systems out. Batteries for the radio almost drained. We're drifting, Robinson, and I don't know where we're going or how long we'll stay afloat.
Hang on, I'll be there as soon as I can. Just keep transmitting on this frequency. Do you hear me?
For as long as I can. Robinson?
What just happened with the camera angle?
Waiting for you.
Okay.
Signal's that weak. You're gonna want to fly low, Captain. Listen for it and correct course when you hear it.
Roger. You go back to base and get help. We're going to need a lot of eyes on the ocean for this one.
Affirmative, Captain. Just make sure you find her before the other guys do. You don't have any guns on that plane.
Then I'll just have to find her fast.
How did I know you were going to say that? Godspeed, Captain Robinson. I'll be back with the cavalry before you know it.
Alright, so she should be...
I don't know how many more of these I'll be able to broadcast. Battery levels are very low. The crew is trying to keep us afloat and mostly succeeding. Mostly.
Come on, damn it, faster!
Come on, Robinson. Don't you...
Is that it?
Captain Robinson, you are a sight for sore eyes. You've just flown over our position. The crew is unharmed, and we seem to have stopped drifting.
I'll radio your position to HQ. Don't go anywhere in the meantime, alright?
I wouldn't dream of it.
Headquarters, this is Bravo Alpha Zero. I have located the missing submarine and am transmitting its coordinates to you. I'd suggest getting someone out here PDQ, though. I don't know how long that ice is going to hold her.
Earfar says aerial flashbang? Yeah, kinda.
I'm not the only one who heard your SOS. There's a fistful of enemy aircraft headed this direction.
You'll have to do something about them. If they spot us, they'll sink us for certain. All their attention must be on you.
There aren't any guns on this kite.
Then you'll have to do something spectacular, won't you?
Milo, how far out are you?
Still too far, Captain. We're closing fast. You'll have to do some fancy flying until we get there. Maybe use that defensive weapon we were testing earlier.
Now the fun really begins.
Take them all out. But the chances of one strafing the sub instead of chasing me are too high. Full throttle, Milo.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. Robinson out.
Come on. Oh, here they come again.
Let's see what this bird can really do.
That never gets old. All right. Cody Davies says, yeah, it's been a minute for me too. I do remember the giant pallets of plastic wrapped cash just lying around for you to collect, though. Yes. If only money was that easy to come by. Okay, we messed that up, but that's okay. We got more. What was that maneuver? Alright, that should have blinded him. He is going down. Kind of. Oh, there he goes. Down he goes.
Hey, Captain! I see you saved a few for me.
Thor, good to see you, cowboy. Are you ready to take on the world?
Just point me at them and turn me loose, Captain. I damn near burned out my engines to get here.
Roger that. I'll keep ducking and weaving. You do what you do best.
Some serious damage. He never knew what hit him.
Permission to attack granted.
Well, that's that squadron dealt with. Cody Davies says, we could time travel to 1920s Germany. Oof. It was probably pretty easy to get that much cash. Yes. Earfar says, yeah, but it was less than worthless. Kind of like Venezuelan money today. So I guess we just deleted all the... There we go.
Thatcher, you're a sight for sore eyes. Think you can give Cowboy a hand?
I suggest that you coordinate our efforts and put our skills to best use, sir. That, and try to keep the Jerrys from putting too much lead in your caboose, as they say.
Hello there, little planes.
Now go give him a hand. Just keep those Germans away from the sub and the rescue boat, all right?
Enemy aircraft destroyed.
Well, we got 3 of them there. Cody Davies says people would burn it because it was more efficient than buying firewood with it. Yep, I've heard of that story too.
Thorpe, attack full throttle.
I've been waiting on your orders, sir. Got it. There's the last one. The skies are clear.
I expect the rescue boat will be along presently. Thank you, Captain Robinson. And of course, all your men. You're quite literally lifesavers.
Airfire says, and wallpaper their houses too, I think. Yep.
Then escort you back to England.
That's very gallant of you, Captain. But there's something much more important that I need you and your men to do.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was sent to Norway to collect information on German weapons research near Telemark, and I've learned that they are planning to unleash one of their new super weapons on Moscow.
An attack like that might be enough to bring the Russians to their knees. It could change the entire course of the war.
Exactly. That's why I need your squadron to fly to Moscow at once and find a way to stop the attack. I'll join you there as soon as I am able.
Alright. So next mission we do have target red square there, so we are going to be flying one specific aircraft, the IL-2 Sturmovik. Which specific version of the IL-2? That's a very good question that the game just does not want to answer.
Marguerite was in Norway. She'd learned that the Germans had some sort of super weapon that they were moving toward Moscow. She sent us there and said she'd catch up with us as soon as she could. We were all set to enjoy our first Soviet military parade when the other shoe dropped. The parade was the target. As long as we were there, so were we.
Abraham Gaunt says, now I want to play War Thunder or Ace Combat. Both are good choices.
You okay with the controls on this thing, Captain? Don't recall you ever flying a Soviet plane before.
Except for that one mission, when I did.
How's it going on your end, Thorpe?
Smooth and easy, Captain. Teach is sitting on the tail gun and holding formation is a snap. We should do more Russian military parades.
Negative on that, cowboy. This is a one-off. We're here because we've got good intelligence suggesting the Germans are going to try and take out the entire Soviet command structure during this parade.
So why not just cancel the parade?
Morale, Winchester. This is intended to buck up the spirits of the citizens and inspire them to resist the Hun at the door. And make no mistake, he is at the door.
And we're here because...
To hell. Look around. These pilots are kids. These planes have no protection for their tail gunners. They need all the help they can get.
And we got elected.
Yes, we did. Now, maintain formation and keep an eye out for trouble.
Hey, is that red square down there?
It is indeed.
Man, I never thought I'd see that. Not in a million years.
Спасибо. Remember, any disruption of the parade will be seen as weakness, and we cannot allow that. Protect the square and eliminate the invaders. You have your orders.
Bravo Alpha Zero, this is Marguerite. I hate to break up the chatter, boys, but we're getting something on radar. Stand by for instructions.
Visual contact is confirmed. It looks like fighters and bombers.
More targets to choose from.
We will move to intercept.
They've got fighter cover. No organized formation, though.
That means we can pick them off one at a time. Punch through the fighters and take out those bombers.
Aye, aye, Captain. He's done for. Good shooting. You're taking some serious damage. Guess it wasn't good enough. My guy is down.
Alright, let's just go ahead and start.
That's one more out of action. I've spotted the transport planes. They're unloading paratroopers. Down he goes. Hit them in the air and it solves the problem on the ground. I got a kill. Direct hit on the target. You got him.
Alright. So we'll just delete the parachutes, and we should be good to go. Cody, alright, so Earfar says you could always play Altu Sturmovik too, but it's one of the most expensive flight games I've ever seen. I've played, thing is, I've played another game that's also notoriously expensive, specifically Rise of Flight, which is made by the same development studio, which is 777 Studios. And yeah, they can get pricey. You are right on that.
Give them everything you've got.
No need to repeat that order. There's the kill. Enemy plane taken care of. Someone want to confirm that kill for me? They're getting too many men on the ground. We can't let them keep dropping men.
American pilots, this is ground control. Do you read me?
Affirmative, ground control. What can we do for you?
We have confirmed the presence of enemy aircraft over the western outskirts of Moscow. Their target is clearly Red Square.
We got dive bombers starting their runs on Red Square.
We have engaged the enemy ground forces. Keep interdicting their reinforcements.
What's this Einstein something he was talking about? Death squads. They're not here to fight. They're here to kill. We got him!
Alright, so we will keep deleting the aircraft.
Let her rip, cowboy.
That's it. Take them out.
Alright, so that should be the end of the bombers there, so we can... Oh, except there's one more. Well, it's way out there, so...
The kill.
There they are. Okay. These tanks should be easy enough to delete.
Target destroyed.
Now, the good thing is, with this being the Soviet Union, I'm sure they'll be able to just cover up the city blocks that have been blown to bits
Keep hitting those bombers.
by
No mercy, fellas. They're not getting past us.
us, but there we go.
Kill confirmed. Target destroyed. Whoa! Look at that crater!
Alright, so it looks like we just have the handful of tanks that are left over here to deal with.
Looks like we've got a significant enemy ground presence. Moving to intercept.
Oh,
Not yet. The Russians are bringing up Katyusha rocket batteries to take them out, but they will need you to act as a spotter and direct their fire. They say they'll do the best they can, but can't make any promises. Ground control will inform you when the rockets are ready to fire. Keep your distance in the meantime.
The Katyushas are ready to fire.
Roger that. We'll put them to good use.
Katyushas incoming! Ground target eliminated.
Okay, that is glorious, I will say that. I did just pretty much delete.
You're taking damage, sir.
Yeah, they pretty much just deleted almost all their toys on the ground here, so that's good.
No more bombers either. Round one goes to the good guys.
Don't get too cocky, man. There's no way we're done yet.
Well done, Captain. You foiled the assassination attempt, but the Germans aren't finished yet.
I'm seeing an enemy strongpoint just outside the city. More troops, strong AA defenses, and something else I can't quite see. It'll be a tough nut to crack.
American pilots, we require your further assistance. The cowardly attempt to assassinate our leadership has been defeated, but the enemy is not withdrawing.
You want us to take out the enemy encampment?
Yes, the anti-aircraft screen is too thick. It must be penetrated by Katyusha rocket fire, and we need you to serve as spotter for them. You will do this, yes?
We'll do our best. Just try to keep the fire off us.
Captain, there's too much AA fire.
Roger that. Put them to good use.
Target destroyed. Nice shooting, Cap.
Whoa, that fire's way too hot. Pull back until they can put some rockets on that.
I mean, pretty much go ahead and ignore what they say, because deleting these things the good old-fashioned way with rockets is hilariously effective regardless. I don't mean the Katyusha rockets, I mean regular rockets.
Got that target. It looks like you've been hit. Captain, there's too much AA fire. Hold off until the rockets are ready.
It's taken care of. You're getting peppered pretty good.
Diese Amerikaner sind besser, als ich dachte. Du bist schlau.
Is that a sneak peek of a boss battle that we have to deal with? I believe it is.
We have identified the enemy weapon. It is what they call a Doragon, and it is targeting Red Square.
A what? A super cannon. Whatever that hits doesn't stand a chance. It looks like they brought it in on a rail car.
Holy crap, that's a big gun.
Destroy the cannon, quickly! We cannot defend against such a thing.
It's firing! Holy crud!
We are reporting heavy damage to area where shell hit, but Red Square is undamaged. Stop it before it fires again.
That super cannon is shielded by some kind of armored dome. The Russian rockets are bouncing right off.
How are we supposed to take that thing out now?
There are doors covering the Dora's barrel. They must open them in order to fire, and that's when we'll have to make our attack.
Teach is right, boys. Keep your eyes open and sing out when those doors start to move. Hit him with everything you've got.
All right.
The gun almost has the range on Red Square. We need to take it out now. The gun doors are opening. Let's hit him.
It's firing again. You're taking some
Look
serious
out!
damage.
Das ist schlecht.
That target's gone. Direct hit on the cannon. It's been hit again. Look at that explosion.
Alright, it's down to half health now, so we should be able to finish it off soon.
The gun is almost done for. Finish it off.
That's okay, we can wait for the next volley, and we should be good.
Or another one.
How are we supposed to take that thing out now?
There are doors covering the Dora's barrel. They must open them in order to fire, and that's when we'll have to make our attack.
Teach is right, boys. Keep your eyes open and sing out when those doors start to move.
JC says, Gustav with a weird shield? Yeah, exactly. This feels like a classic pulp novel comic. Well, I'd say they
Doors are opening. Now's our chance.
I'd say they hit the nail on the head with the comic book art style they were going with.
Firing again. Holy crud! You're taking some serious damage.
Target destroyed.
There we go.
Good work. Americans, you will be pleased to know that the Germans are falling back to their lines.
Cody Davies says, didn't it take the Carl Gustav guns like this 20 minutes reload? Yes. Or it took a ridiculously long time. I'm not entirely sure how, but long, but
Milo. That's a kill.
Abraham says more like 45 minutes to an hour, if not fully crewed, and it rarely ever was. Alright, that's probably a more accurate estimate, I'd say. Alright, so we've done that mission, which means now we are going to be joining the Flying Tigers. And since I'm not going to have another opportunity to play this thing in pretty much any other air combat game, arcade air combat game, we're going to be using the Defiant. Because why not?
Once the Japanese hit Pearl, everything changed, and not for the better. We were assigned to the U.S. Army Air Corps. Our first mission was to link up with the Flying Tigers, a group of volunteer pilots running guns and supplies into China. Together, we would strike at a hidden enemy base in the heart of the Middle Kingdom.
Air Force says, pretty sure that gun would kill its crew just by firing blast. if I remember correctly, a lot of these guns were fired remotely, so they would actually position the crew a fair distance away before firing.
How's it looking back there, Thorpe?
About as you'd expect. I've got a plane full of berserk commandos. Thatcher's halfway down the canyon already with his own passengers, and you and Winchester get to do the suicidally fun bits. As usual, I might add.
Well, you guys get to go home that much earlier. I'd switch places if I could.
I'll take that action, Milo.
Not a chance, people. I need my engineer on this one, Milo. You're the only one who has a chance in hell of understanding that plane well enough to get it off the ground.
Captain Robinson, this is Colonel J.C. Broaddus, U.S. Army. I'm flying observation behind you, and I'll be giving the orders in this operation.
Understood, Colonel.
I don't know or care what you did anywhere else. You're under my command now, and nothing I've seen so far has convinced me you're worth the grease it would take to fry you in hell. Despite that, I'm willing to give you a shot. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Our targets are the two experimental aircraft the Germans have been working on in this godforsaken corner of nowhere. They will not be expecting us to make a play for them. So with luck, they will not attempt to sabotage them when we come in on the attack. Your objective is to take out the airfield's defenses. Do it fast, do it hard, and do it right. You hear me?
Yes, Colonel.
Transport 1, I want your cargo on that airfield now.
Roger that, Colonel. We are on the ground.
Gauntlet says it was a battleship gun on rails. Yeah, pretty much. 18-inch, which I knew it was 800 millimeters.
Once the runway is cleared, you have permission to land. Hop to it. You've got some planes to steal.
Alright, now we just avoid the plane that's landed right here.
We are on the ground.
You gotta be kidding me. Just as the cutscene went off, too. We'll just take off around him. There we go.
Captain Robinson, I'm being told we have a golden opportunity. Your aircraft should be fully armed. Use it to take out the factories the Germans have set up along the gorge. And make sure that neither you nor Lieutenant Winchester crashes. Those planes are worth a lot more than you are.
Your concern is touching, Colonel.
And don't you smart-ass me. Just stay low. They've got a ceiling of AA that will tear you a couple of dozen new ones if you grab too much sky.
Understood. Robinson out. So tell me about that rocket you're flying, Milo.
This here is what you call a jet, Captain. It can fly higher than any prop job ever made.
So they could potentially outclass anything we've got in the air.
You'll notice that he called it a jet. The 163 Comet that Milo is flying, he's calling a jet. It's a rocket. I'm not sure it's... I wouldn't exactly call it a jet, though. At least not in a traditional sense. Anyways, what's that thing on top of the Shinden? It's a Tesla coil, which is the defensive weapon on this bad boy. It's one of the very few aircraft that get access to it, in fact. The others being the 162 and the Gotha. Yeah, we take out 30 ground targets and ship 30 ground and ship targets, and we get the secondary objective there finished, which is nice. So you can tell we need to stay low to complete this mission. Someone mentioned that the voice actor is the Admiral from Halo 4, I think. Yeah, you'll notice a few voice actors in this game. Like, we've got Nathan Zachary from Crimson Skies, we've got the Admiral from Halo 4, and wait till you hear Kluger's voice, who's the main villain. He's another voice actor that I instantly recognize. Here we go.
That ship won't be around for the victory party.
Cody Davies says, how the fuck they get a coastal boat up that river? I mean, there's some pretty... I know there's some rivers in China that are big enough that you could get away with that. Oh, we're lagging a little bit. We have to destroy the AA guns because they are causing the lag. So...
Scratch another ship for the bad guys. That one's done for at least.
I like how the flak tower isn't actually producing flak. Ooh, ow. Okay. Okay, so we have to do this again. Okay. Admittedly, that was 100% my fault, so...
You just wiped that target off the map. If it hits, sir. Enemy ship sunk.
There we go. I'm willing to let... Well, actually, no. We're not letting that target go. Just for the sake of it. Alright, now we can continue on our merry little way. Oof and ouch, yes, I know. I didn't actually get the best angle on that one, so that's why. Oh, looky! Free ammo.
Enemy aircraft is down.
Now, typically, once they get hit with the Tesla there, they tend to crash. Alright, there we go. Cody Davies says, I shouldn't question it. You have a Tesla coil on top of your plane. Yeah, good point. Jacob Kennedy says, at this rate, Captain Robertson will have one of the highest kill counts in World War II. Yes, especially since we're still in, at the very earliest late 1941, maybe even, but more likely early 1942 right now. I mean, the next mission would be a good potential guide as to what point in the war we are?
More at least. Direct hit, and she's going down.
And we made it.
That kill's confirmed, Captain. Enemy vessel destroyed. Looks like you're taking some hits. You've taken out an enemy vessel. Enemy ground target destroyed. You're taking too much fire.
I'll just finish off with these.
Scratch another ship for the bad guys. Think you got that one.
Jacob Kennedy says, just like Beggar's Canyon back home.
You just blew that ship out of the water.
Yeah, pretty much.
There goes. You're getting torn up, Captain. Nice one, sir. Auf this one there.
There we go.
Good shooting.
It's opening up a bit.
There's Teach's plane.
Captain Robinson, we require your assistance.
Affirmative, Colonel. What do you need?
There's not a damn thing worth our while in this base. This whole mission's been a soup sandwich. We're pulling out. Cover our retreat.
Will do.
Looks like we have a few more ground targets.
Let's take them out so Teach can get airborne.
Much appreciated, Captain. I'll be taking off as soon as you clear the way.
At least we can get a little higher here.
And a little more maneuverability.
Alright, let's delete this. There we go. Jacob Kennedy says, just to send Robinson to Japan and he'd defeat them single-handedly. And Cody Davies responds with, in their own plane too. Pretty much.
Can't bring himself to thank me personally, huh?
Something like that. He also orders you to fly the comets to Rangoon and refuel there.
Rangoon? The city is surrounded by the Japanese. It could fall at any time.
I hate to say it, but the Colonel's got a point. These birds need special fuel for their engines. Rangoon is the closest place to find it.
Rangoon it is, then. All we need to do is slip past the Japanese forces, fuel up the planes in a war zone, and fly out again before the city is taken. What's the worst that could happen?
Jacob Kennedy says, so this is the boat that the Black Lagoon jumped in the anime Black Lagoon. Apparently. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a new record of mine for this particular mission. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Alright. Chat's been disconnected real quick, so let's just wait for that to pop back on. And we are back. So far we've been at it for about 2 hours, so I think we'll do this one last mission, and that should be it for this particular live stream. So we get to use the Shinden again, apparently. At least for the opening.
Colonel Brodus came up empty-handed at the enemy base, but we had 2 working copies of a German jet fighter. The Comet was a lousy plane. The technology that went into its construction made it worth its weight in gold. The only way to get those planes safely out of China meant a landing at Rangoon, which was surrounded by the Japanese and about to fall. That wasn't the worst of it, though. Not by a long shot. Rangoon Control, this is Bravo Alpha Zero. We're starting our landing now. Please have fuel trucks standing by. We don't intend to be here very long.
Watch out! Low-level bombers coming in from the east.
It's a sneak attack! They must have snuck in under the radar!
Prototypes are out of fuel. If we don't find a way to drive off those bombers, we'll never get them off the ground again.
Captain, there's a flight of Tempests lined up by the runway. They look armed and ready for action.
Then let's put them to good use. Climb aboard and let's get back in the air.
Bravo Alpha Zero, we need you to scramble. Pronto!
I'm on my way. That was a close call. Tower, this is Bravo Alpha Zero. I am airborne.
Bravo Alpha Zero, it is imperative that you destroy the bomber wing attacking the airfield as quickly as possible. We can't take much more punishment.
What about my wingman?
We can't scramble any more aircraft until the bombers are driven off. For the moment, you're on your own.
I like how the Japanese planes here can easily take a rocket hit.
The skies are clear. All units, scramble.
You don't have to tell us twice.
Good work, Captain.
There we go.
We need your help with the evacuation.
You heard the man, gentlemen. Let's go provide some cover for the people. Move to attack, people! Go get them!
Gotcha, you bastard!
Don't hold back!
All right, Captain. A convoy looks like it's trying to form up under fire.
Eddie Davies says, to me, with regards to Japanese planes, especially considering they're made of wood, lol, says Jacob Kennedy, better be mahogany.
He's going down in flames! Those valves are hitting that spot pretty hard.
Enemy vessel destroyed.
Hey, you okay over there?
They're picking off the evacuation fleet.
Seeing a lot of smoke from down there. They're running out of torpedo boats.
We've almost done it. The evacuation can't go forward under this much fire.
Alright, so we pretty much deleted most of their fleet there.
Vessel destroyed. They're safe for now.
Good work here, man. I want an all-out... What now, Rangoon Control?
We've got enemy advanced units moving toward the city. They're working with artillery and air cover to pin the 7th Armor in their base. If we don't help them out, they'll be trapped when the main Japanese force arrives.
Well, we can't have that sort of thing.
Jacob Kennedy says, or so Ibram Gaunt says, so you're flying a Sea Fury in 1940. Well, this would be 1942 by this point, I think. And Jacob Kennedy says, at least the game does not try to tell you it's historically accurate, unlike Battlefield 5. Yeah, exactly. Smokescreen is clearly pretty effective at this.
I'd hate to be on the cleanup crew down there.
The enemy armor has stopped its advance. At least what's left.
So why do the Japanese have what look like German tanks?
I'm seeing the artillery that's hitting the 7th, and they got AA guns protecting their position.
Look out for flak, team.
We need to put that artillery out of action. The 7th is reporting no more artillery fire.
I'd say the 7th is safe for now. Where do you need us?
There are 2 main bridges into the city. One of them is damaged. We wired both to blow. One went partially, one never had the explosives go off, but they're both wired. We've got men at the 2nd bridge trying to finish the job.
Roger that. We'll go help them out.
I got it.
Alright, let's go ahead and help the dudes and take out the bridge there. We do have a few things we need to destroy real quick to help them.
Enemy plane. There's the 1st bridge, Captain. We should be able to take it out from the air.
Air support! We're trying to reset the demo charges on the bridge, but we're under heavy fire. We need you to take some of the heat off.
Understood. We're on it.
Direct hit on the target. That's all then. We're falling back across the bridge.
Alright, we'll wait until they've crossed the bridge before we detonate it. Meantime, we might as well pick off some more ground troops. Jacob Kennedy says, Jesus, Robson's kill ratio is insane. Yeah, yes it is.
Wiped out. That target's gone.
Spot on. That's a confirmed kill.
Yeah, those are definitely German tanks there, and German at half-tracks too, just to fill it out a little bit further. Ibram Gaunt says to me, because they bought like one Tiger One over and devs would go wild for it, or it's cheaper to reuse assets. That and the Japanese tank sucked. Yeah, the Chihas and Hagos weren't particularly good late war, that's for sure. The big problem with the Japanese tanks... Sorry.
It's imperative you knock out that bridge.
Nice shot, Captain!
You're needed at the refinery, Captain, if you're up to it. We don't want to leave that for the Japanese to use.
Alright, that sounds simple enough.
All right, I'm impressed.
How much oil was still in that place?
Enough that they'll regret not getting their hands on it. It looks like the Japanese are getting into the city proper. I know, and we need to provide cover for the land and sea evacuation routes. It looks like there's armor going around the city, trying to cut off the evac route.
They're tightening the noose. We have to cut it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thorpe, attack full throttle.
Let's see if they're ready for this. Going down!
So we pretty much deleted all the tanks in advance. That's good. I don't think they'd even need to evacuate Rangoon anymore at this point.
You're taking fire. I've got a kill. I think I got one. There we go.
Ukrainian Fedora says, hey.
That's a kill.
Sorry, I'll just deal with these dudes.
Hostiles headed for the harbor, sir. That's a kill.
We'll have to split our forces. Teach, you're with me. Milo, Cowboy, help out the ships in the harbor.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Ukrainian Fedora says, hey Ace, was playing War Thunder just now. Splashed 4 using my BF-109E1 earlier in Blazing Angels, huh? Loved this game when I played it back when I played my Xbox 360. Yep. Well, this is technically the sequel, but yeah. Still a great little game. Ukrainian Fedoras also says, realistic battles for clarification, by the way, the mode I was playing on. Yep, good. Let's go ahead and delete this dude.
He's done for. Good shooting. That kill is confirmed.
And he's going down.
The ship's made it out of the harbor, Captain, but we've got a lot more company than we anticipated.
Captain, I think we should remain in position to provide a rear guard.
Negative, Cowboy. Your work there is done. Evacuate with all speed.
This thing's falling apart, Thorpe. I'm getting out of here. And you should too.
Too late for that. I have multiple targets inbound on my position.
I thought you were smarter than this, cowboy. Pull out! Pull out!
German planes.
Out of there!
Milo, get back there and...
It's too late, Captain. My engine's out. I'm going down. Thorpe! Thorpe!
He's gone, Captain.
Bravo Alpha Zero. They've set up a tank perimeter around the city. You punch a hole.
I see that, ground control.
Sounds simple enough.
We, Captain? If we don't take out those tanks, the train is yesterday's news.
Careful, they're letting the daylight out of your plane.
Did I just delete all of the ground troops? I could have sworn I missed one of them. Huh. Okay. Alright, so Ibram Gant says, I miss the old Lucasfilms game Secret Weapons Over Normandy. Yes, an absolute classic. Jacob Kennedy says, I miss LucasArts and damn Kathleen Kennedy. Ibram Gant says, you mean Karen Kennedy? Yes.
That's a kill.
Don't mind me just padding my score a little bit more.
The train is clear of the city. They're safe. Well done, Captain.
Captain, can you hear me? I've put my craft down safely in the harbor. There's a Japanese boat headed for my position. And I think I'm gonna be taken prisoner.
Oh dear.
Thorpe, listen to me. Whatever you do, don't give up. We will find you. We will come for you. You understand me?
Yes, sir. I'll be waiting.
I think that's a new record on this one as well. Alright. Well, we've been at it for 2 hours, so I think that's a good stopping point. So yeah, let's go ahead and call it a day. And I'll go ahead and stop the stream. And this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.